11 of the most essential Logic Pro tips right now. Right now! Let's cut to the chase. And by chase, I mean MIDI Chase. This is a feature in Logic Pro that's like a bloodhound for your MIDI notes. It sniffs them out and makes sure they're heard, even if you start playback in the middle of a note. Here's the problem you run into when MIDI Chase isn't enabled. I'm hitting playback in the middle of this long sustained pad. I hit play, I don't hear it. But if I enable MIDI Chase, I'll hit playback at that same spot in the middle of the phrase. MIDI Chase. All right, so to enable MIDI Chase, you'll want to head over to File, down to Project Settings, MIDI, and this window will pop up, and you'll want to make sure that you go to Chase, and then you're going to want to click Notes. So you'll see there's a few options here. If you click Sustained, it'll make sure to chase after the long sustained notes. We've got Pitch Bend here, which will make sure to chase after those pitch bends that you put into your production. So feel free to play around with all of these settings for your specific project. So I've got this guitar part, an audio region, but I'm thinking it might sound better on a synth, and I'd like to switch it over to MIDI. Now, I could spend hours trying to recreate it by hand, or I could just use Logic's Audio to MIDI feature and get it done in seconds. So I'm actually going to be doing this using the tool Flex Pitch. So I'll make sure that's enabled here, and I'm going to want to make sure that I set it to Flex Pitch in this drop-down menu. So you can see already that Logic has read this audio file and found all the notes that this guitar part is hitting. So now I'm going to bring up the editor window by hitting E. And now it's starting to look a little bit more familiar, like a typical MIDI region. You can see these MIDI notes here. So I'm going to go to the Edit window, and I'm going to go down to Create MIDI Track from Flex Pitch Data. And there you go, it created this new track underneath here, a typical MIDI region that you might be more familiar with. Once you've got that MIDI data, you can assign it to any instrument in Logic. Now, keep in mind, this will work best for a monophonic sound, like a vocal or a guitar or some kind of lead sound. Whenever you get into something more polyphonic, like chords, things like that, it won't work as well. Tip 3, remove silence. Remove silence. This tool is great for vocals. In any given vocal session, you'll have your lead vocal, doubles, triples, harmonies, ad-libs. That's tons of vocal tracks that each individually have so many gaps and silences in between all the lyrics. Now you could go in and manually chop up all those spaces, do all those fades, or you can use Logic Pro's Remove Silence tool. Check it out. All right, first I'm going to make sure I select this vocal region that I would like to remove all these silent spaces, and I'm going to hit the shortcut Control-X, and it opens up this Remove Silence window. Now you can see the edit is kind of already done, but if you want more control, you can mess with these parameters like the threshold, the minimum time to accept a silence, the pre-attack time to make sure that you keep those natural sounding breaths from the vocalist, and the post-release time to make sure you don't cut off the ends of words. I think that's looking pretty good. Let's give that a try. And it's done. Now, if I want to, I could go in and fine-tune this edit. And what's great is that everything's already selected. I can just add a little fade to every audio region, fade in and fade out, and it's done. Just like that, in a matter of seconds, I've removed the silence from this vocal take, which would have usually taken me way too long than I'm willing to admit. Next up is overlapping audio. This is perfect for when you're recording vocals, you want alternate takes, when you're layering audio tracks, it's the best. Logic has a couple of different ways to handle overlapping audio. You can find these different options under the Record menu, down in Overlapping Audio Recordings. All right, so I'd like to record some vocals from bar 4 to 8 here, this 4-bar loop, so I've turned on the cycle area, which we'll get into later. This cycle area is very powerful, but stick around for that. And since I've got the cycle on, I could choose Create Take Folder, which is great for when you want to scrub through and comp the best of the best vocal take. What it's going to do is it's going to keep recording and it's going to keep all of your takes and just line them up super nicely. Check this out. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, yeah. And just like that, I've got these 3 different takes. I could choose the beginning of one, the end of another, and the middle part of this last one to create one super take. La 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 la. The other option is create tracks and mute. And this is great if you'd like it to create new tracks and mute the previous one. Check this out. Yeah, 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 okay. Yeah, yeah, okay. Yeah, yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. And just like that, I've got 3 muted tracks of those different takes, and it'll always keep the most recent one live and ready to listen to. This way I can stitch together all those different tracks, I could build harmonies, you can get really creative with this function as well. So by default, all these tracks are grouped together. For example, if I solo one of them, they're all soloed. If you'd like more control, all you have to do is just create new tracks and just drag down your new audio. All right, let's keep going. Tip number 5, MIDI Transform. This is an extremely powerful tool, and there's a lot to unpack here, so stick with me. If you really like programming your own beats and using the piano roll to draw in notes, this tool is for you. It's a great way to add a human feel to whatever you're working on.
Humans, good. Robots. Robots?
First, select the MIDI region that you'd like to transform, and you can double-click it or hit the shortcut P to open up the piano roll. Once you're in there, you can head over to the Functions menu, MIDI Transform, and you can see there are so many options to choose from. Some of my favorites are Fixed Velocity, which is going to make sure that every note in that region is at the same velocity. Just hit Select and Operate, so it selects all the notes and operates the function. And voila. Now, for drums, that kind of took away the human feel. Fixed velocity is great for something where you want a consistent feel, maybe something like a synth bass. But for drums, let's humanize it a little bit. Lucky for us, there's a tool called Humanize in MIDI Transform. Again, select and operate. And what this is going to do is it's going to randomize the velocity and the timing a little bit of every note in the region. Let's have a listen. Much better. Speaking of humans, we need more humans to subscribe to this channel. So hit that like thing, the subscribe thing also, the bell thing also, and let us know in the comments below that you are in fact a human and not an AI robot thing. We love you. Say no to robots. All right, let's keep digging in with some more MIDI tips. Next up is QFlam. With QFlam, you can add realism and expression to those big block chords that all hit on the beat. This function will give those MIDI notes that natural roll of the fingers. All right, I'm going to double click the MIDI region. Look at those big block chords all landing on the one. No one can hit all the notes at the same time. I know I can't. Let's add some human. So let's go over to the region inspector here, and you can see down here we've got QFlam, but it's grayed out. So to enable it, we have to make sure we quantize this region to some kind of amount. So I'm going to do 16th notes for now. Now QFlam becomes available, and I can click and drag up or down, and you can see those MIDI notes moving around, sliding around to add that flam at the beginning of every beat. So let's have a listen to these chords without the QFlam. Sounds great, but pretty robotic, not a very human piano player feel. Let's add some QFlam. QFlam. Next up, tip number 7, MIDI Reverse. MIDI Reverse, that's not how that works. It literally takes the MIDI and reverses it. So you can hear any chord progression or piece of music backwards. So again, select the MIDI region, double click to open the piano roll, go to the Functions menu, we're back in MIDI Transform, and we're gonna hit Reverse Position. Our parameter window comes up, and you can hit Select and Operate, and boom, it switched the position of all the MIDI notes in reverse. So here's the chord progression before it's reversed. But I want to hear what it sounded like if I switched around those chords backward style. Awesome, this works great too. And now I can maybe use this section for a different part of the song, like the pre-chorus or the bridge. Love it. Now, this next tip isn't Logic Pro specific, but it's definitely the easiest and fastest way to get a bounced mix from your computer directly onto your phone. If you know of a quicker way, let me know in the comments below. With the LANDR desktop and mobile apps, you can hit export in your session and walk away. And that mix will be directly uploaded to LANDR, which you can access on your phone. The best part, it's free. It's free. I'm gonna hit Command B to bounce this project. And when it comes to the destination, I'm gonna wanna make sure that I hit LANDR bounces. Hit bounce. And there it is. And if you want, LANDR will automatically master it as well. Perfect for referencing your mix to hear what it would sound like when it's mastered. Tip number 9, detect tempo. You've been in this situation before. I know you have. I know I have. Let's say you've got a piece of audio or you've imported a loop, you don't know what the BPM is, you want to sync up the tempo to your project, but you have no idea how to start. You try shifting things around, changing numbers, doing mental math, smashing plates. It took me years to figure out that Logic actually has several different ways to detect the tempo of audio for you. Plates are way too expensive to smash. So I've got this piece of audio here, no idea what the tempo is. So on the track itself, I'm actually gonna go down to metering and add a BPM counter plugin built into Logic for free. Hit play. There it is, 133 beats per minute. Now I can change my project tempo to match the audio, and we're done. There's actually a second way to do this. I can double click on the track, make sure I'm on the Smart Tempo menu here, click Analyze, it'll do its thing, and boom, 133. And it'll change the project tempo to that as well. Smart Tempo, it's so smart. This next one is a tool that I've only ever really seen in Logic. If you've seen this tool in any other DAWs, let me know in the comments below. It's definitely a special one. Speed up and slow down your fades. So the first thing I'll do is add a fade in to this piece of audio. And the region inspector here, it's automatically a fade in, but if I click on that drop down menu, I could actually turn it into a speed up. Let's hear what that sounds like. Kind of makes for a really cool intro. Same goes for the fade out. I'll add a fade to this last section of the song. And on the fade out menu, I'm going to change that to a slow down. Let's hear what that sounds like. Amazing. This tool is a really quick way to add creative DJ style intros and outros to your pieces of audio. DJ Ballsy. This last tip is the most efficient way to navigate around your project, make huge edits, and just solidify your arrangement on the fly. The cycle area function is a must-know feature in Logic. You can loop a section over and over, you can skip over sections, you can insert new sections. Let me show you what I mean. To activate the cycle area, you just click above your arrangement here, and you'll get this yellow bar. This is the cycle area. When it's yellow like this, it's activated. When it's off, it's gray. You just have to click it again. When it's yellow, it's just acting like a simple loop, repeat. It's just gonna keep repeating that section. You could change the length of it to be longer or shorter by dragging. You could click and drag it to move it around. Pretty great, right? We can go even further. If I hit Command and click on it, it turns into this kind of Mario Kart speed racer situation. What's gonna happen is instead, the playhead is gonna skip over that section. Here's what I mean. This is really handy when you want to hear what your song would sound like. For example, if you wanted to skip a pre-chorus and just go directly from the verse to the chorus, instead of having to do that huge edit, you can just hear what it would sound like first. But we're just scratching the surface here. There's so much more to do with the cycle area. Check this out. If I activate the cycle area here, in my toolbar, I've got tons of new options. I can repeat that section. I could cut that section. I could insert a section, put it back. I could also insert a silent section if I want to create an entire new part for the song. The cycle area. The possibilities are endless and it saves so much time in your workflow. Love it. Hey, I'm Isabelle and welcome to this video all about Logic Pro tips that are going to speed up your workflow. Make sure you scroll backwards back to tip number 2, which is my favorite, intro. See ya!